Personality development. We should know about personality development, and the question is why? Why should we know it? Because tomorrow we are going to face the society. Society doesn't need you. Please remember, society doesn't need you. You have to make the society that you are needed by it. And that is where this personality development is required. You should develop yourself. You are reading, no doubt. You are doing mathematics, no doubt. You are doing science. You are maybe making some experiments. Maybe many things you must be knowing. You must be learning in the school. But how to behave with the society, in the society, it is a must, and that is called personality development. Personality. A person may feel inferior, and a person may feel superior. In both the cases, he is a loser. He cannot stand in the society in these two cases. If you are feeling inferior, you cannot do anything, always panicky. You will be just fearing yourself. You cannot go ahead. And next, if you are feeling superior, nobody will be in touch with you. They will be keeping themselves away from you. And hence, personality development is a must. We see nowadays, just in your neighborhood, you may see there are a kid, a child, a boy, a baby, may not be walking, may not be seeing, may not be hearing, may not be talking. That is physically handicapped, we call. We are not that. We are not physically handicapped. Mentally we are very sound. We are very strong physically also. But even then, if we don't have personality development, we may be termed as we are physically handicapped or mentally handicapped. That we have to remember. So now, every paper, if we open it daily, the page number 3, if you see, you will be counting n number of cases, suicide cases. Why that suicide? Suicide is an extreme step a boy or a girl or a woman or a man takes when he feels that he is a failure. That is, failure, we should not think that we are failed in some manner. We are not physically handicapped. We are not mentally handicapped. We are not inferior. We are not superior. We are we. If we have that confidence within ourselves, we can do better and society accepts us. There are many examples in front of us. One, Bharatanatyam exponent, that is Sudha Chandran. She has lost her right leg. During the course of her dancing itself, she neglected a small pain and she lost her leg. But again, with a artificial leg, she could able to maintain, and now again she reached the heights of dancing. And she is the most wanted person in TV serials, Hindi, Kannada, Malayalam, Telugu, everywhere. She ruled for quite 2 decades in the TV serials. And now Stephen Hawking, he is one more personality, greatest personality. He doesn't have the movement of his hands, legs, not even eyelids, not even ears, nothing. He can hear, but he cannot answer. Mouth is not working. This, what we call as your voice is not coming. His body is not moving. He is simply what we call as a lump of muscles in a wheelchair. But there they invented some device which can read the brain waves, and that is transformed into words, and he is #1 scientist now, and he is inventing many more things. Third, Helen Keller, you can see. Helen Keller, deaf, mute, blind, means 3 ways she is disabled, but still she has reached heights. Now one more personality we are reading about here. He is called as your Nick Vujicic, but in your next door you may see some Nick Vujicic. And in our TV reality shows, they are finding India has talent. You must have seen there people having no legs, only by the help of hands they dance, they perform, they get acclaim, they get accolade from people. That is called confidence. What qualities of these persons made them great? I am just want to give you a simple formula, mathematical formula here. That is, you should have this first. Whether you are superior or inferior or handicapped or whatsoever, you should have this courage. Yes, I am bold enough. I am brave enough. That way you should think within yourself. Nobody will tell you. Nobody will ever tell you that you are courage enough. You should have this courage. Next, you should have commitment. Commitment. I will do this. I will excel in this, and I will master in it, in this field. That way you should have a commitment, not to the society, but for yourself. You should have that commitment. Now, courage, commitment. And third is consolidation. What is this consolidation is? What do I have with me? What am I left with? That way you have to question yourself, and that will bring you this courage. Can I reach this commitment with whatever I am left with? If you question yourself, the answer itself will give you this consolidation. Do I have legs? I don't have. Do I have hands? I don't have. So how best I can come over this difficulty? That way you will be consolidating yourself. Yes, whatever I am having, with this I am excelling, I am going to the success. That way you need consolidation. And next, these three in equal proportions if you have, you will be reaching to this. You will be reaching to the great success. That is the formula. Again, courage you should have, brave, you should be brave enough, bold enough, and then commitment. You will be committing yourself, I will become this. And thirdly, consolidation, that is you will be just assessing yourself, what is there with me? Is this enough for me to go to the heights? That is consolidation. If you consider that, great success is yours. And suicide is not the only answer or only the goal. No, you can reach the heights. That is what here Nick Vujicic talks to us and tells us. Let me read the lesson for you. Attitude is altitude. Your attitude only fixes. This is your altitude. These heights you can reach. That way your attitude itself will give you the answer. Wherever you go, that attitude you should have to reach the altitudes. Imagine having no arms to stretch in the morning, to help you scratch that itch, to allow you to wrap your arms around your loved ones. Imagine having no legs to kick pebbles down the street, to walk or run, to bicycle or skateboard, or get you from point A to point B. Then imagine both at once, which is what Nick Vujicic has faced his whole life. Have you heard something like this before? I know it is no. The peculiarity of this paragraph is all the sentences, all the paragraphs will start with the statements, and most of them some kind of question, interrogative. But here I come across a paragraph starting with the imperative sentence. Imagine. Imagine having no arms. What for? We are using arms for many other things, but three things here they have been told which are very closely related to your feelings. One is to stretch in the morning when you get up from the bed. You will not just simply put your legs down and coming out and going for a bathroom. No, you will be just stretching. If you don't have hands, can you do this? No. Second, to help you scratch that itch. Itch. That is a very wonderful thing. Wherever you sit, you have to do this. You have to do this. Somewhere at the back, somewhere, or at the leg. You have to do that itching. But if you don't have hands, how can you do it? You cannot do. And of course, back means I can ask some gentleman or some boy, come and itch me here, backside. Oh, it is a very good thing to get somebody have my back itched. But in front side, can I ask anybody's help? No. So if you don't have hands, this feeling you have to feel for yourself to allow you to wrap your arms around your loved ones. This is a greatest feeling. You are there. Your brother, your sister, your daughter, your son, your grandson, your grandchildren, somebody will be coming or your friend will be coming. You want to welcome. You cannot just put your hand ahead for a shake hand. No, you cannot hug him friendly. No. That feeling you will be missing if you don't have hands. Now, second thing, second imagination. What is that one? Imagine having no legs to kick pebbles down the street. So many children you must have seen. They'll be walking on the street and at the same time they will be enjoying kicking something whatsoever comes in the way. Whether it is a pebble or some dabba or some bottle or some cap or anything whatsoever comes in the way, they will be kicking and walking. And if you don't have legs, can you do that? No. Second, to walk or run, you are enjoying walking, you are enjoying running also because you have legs. If you don't have, again it is a stigma. To bicycle or skateboard, now these two also needed, legs needed, you cannot do that. Or get you from point A to point B. The main purpose of your legs is to walk from A to B, B to C, C to D, here to school, school to home, right? So, if you don't have legs, this is a lacuna there. That means you are handicapped, you cannot go. If you don't have legs, hands, you cannot hug somebody. That means not only that, many more things you cannot do if you don't have hands. Now, if you don't have both the things, it is something which we cannot imagine, unimaginable, simply. Now, if you don't have both, imagine Nick possesses. There is a person who doesn't have these two things. No legs, no hands, simply head, thorax, abdomen and buttocks. That's all. And that is called as a torso, a portion of the body without limbs. Now you can just imagine how that man would have lived his life so far. He is 26 or 27 or 37 years, I do not know. By the time this book has been printed, it is said 26 years lad, old man. I do not know how old is this version whatsoever. Now that is Nick Vujicic. He was born with no arms or no legs, but he doesn't let the details stop him. This disability, this details means this disability, this thing, never stopped him doing whatever he wanted. He has done. What are things he has done? Let us see. The brave 26 years old who is mainly a torso. Torso I have already told you. That is only the head, thoracic region, abdomen, the buttocks. That's all. Just like a rod-like, statue-like, which is sculpted on the either wood or on the stone. That much. And plays football and golf. He plays that. You may wonder how he doing it. Now second, and swims and surfs. Swimming without legs, can you imagine it? Without hands, can you imagine it? But he does it. And now, despite having no limbs, he swims, he surfs, he plays golf, he plays football. That is Nick Vujicic. About him we are going to read. Nick has a small foot on his left hip, which helps him balance and enables him to kick. He uses his one foot to type, write with a pen, and pick things up between his toes. If a pin is dropped and if you are asked to pick it up by your hands, using your hands, just imagine how easy it is, rather how difficult it is. But he picks up accurately within no moment if a pin is dropped with his that little leg which is attached to his left hip. With that, he picks up the pin even from the ground. He kicks a ball accurately for about 30 to 40 feet away. If the catcher is there, the person will not be catching. He will be kicking it into his hands. That accurate kicking he will be doing. He does it. And next, he uses his foot to typewrite. I can typewrite 100 words a minute. He is very good. But how many mistakes you commit? That is the thing. We commit mistakes. Again we will be going back and again we will be erasing and again we will be typing. But the person about whom we are reading, he can type with his toe, only one, this leg. With his toes he types. Not only that, he catches hold of a pen and a pencil, he writes. Now you can think, in what way he is inferior to you all? This word he has forgotten. Though he doesn't have the capacity, no hands, no fingers, nothing, but he doesn't feel inferior. He writes, he types, he plays, he swims and he skateboards. That is his ability. Nick Vujicic. I call it my chicken drumstick. Chicken drumstick. It is a very delicious food item. If you go to any dhaba there, they will be serving you chicken drumstick, masala fried one. It is a very tasty one, of course. I did not do it. I have seen it. People eating it. A very small piece of a chicken leg. That he calls it his leg here because it is a very small one. With this he balances himself, his body. That's all. He doesn't eat it. Now, I call it my chicken drumstick, joked Nick. Means, you see how much guts are required. He jokes on his own body. Now you imagine a blind person, he doesn't weep, he jokes on it because his ability will be balanced somewhere, something else he can do more than what he sees here. He may not be having eyes, but he may be having a perfect ear. He may be having a perfect smelling capacity, or he may be having a perfect, very perfect touching capacity, sensation here he may be having. Likewise here, Vujicic says he jokes on this little foot with which he does many things. He balances himself, he writes, he typewrites, he kicks the ball, he picks up pins even, and he writes with a pen, and he plays football with this leg, and he jokes on it. Right? Next is, I call it my chicken drumstick, joked Nick, who was born in Melbourne, Australia, but now lives in Los Angeles. I would be lost without it. Though he joked, what he said again, he would have been lost if he doesn't have this leg, small one. Due to his faith as an evangelical Christian, Nick has chosen to remain a virgin until marriage, although he has had long-term girlfriends in the past. He is very modest, but he gets marriage proposals from women all the time, said Nick's friend and publicist Steve Appel from Los Angeles. He would love to get married and start a family, but he is waiting for the right girl to come along. Now about virgin. Virgin word, it is no vulgar word. Brahmacharyam, that we call in Telugu and in any Indian language. Brahmacharyam, again, it is not that not to get married. No. Virgin is a very specific word wherein man consolidates himself and commits himself. Bhishma Pratigya, you must have heard about. He remained virgin all his life and he lived for 100 years and he called death for himself. That is consolidation and commitment, these two come under that virgin. He wanted to be that. Until he finishes, until he gets what he wanted, he vowed that he will not be marrying. He must be having many girlfriends. He doesn't bother for. And his friend and his publicist you must have heard, PA to so and so, cinema actors will be having, the dramatists will be having, artisan will be having their own personal assistants who what we call as engage themselves for the business, who puts rate on him. He is called as publicist. Likewise, he has a publicist, his friend, what his name is Steve Apple, and he is also from Los Angeles. He said he would love to get married and start a family, but he is waiting for the right girl to come along. Water sports aren't Nick's only thing. Water sports, because you see there are no hands and there are no legs, but already it has been told that he is a master in skateboard. And here again in this paragraph it is said he is not only good at that. Then he also plays golf with a club. Club, you know what it is? Club. If it is golf, a straight rod and with a ladder-like structure here. This is called club. Here there will be a handle. It can be hold over there. But there are no hands to catch hold of this handle. Now you can question yourself, how could he play it? Simply he tucks it here under the chin, and with this he moves it and he could hit the ball with his, and you see, keeping something here and hitting something, how much courage is required, how much commitment is required, you can understand. It is not such easy. With a hand we can put it. We can, suppose you are a badminton player, you can play it. If you are a cricket player, you can play it because you are having both the hands. He doesn't have none of the hands, but he tucks his club here and he hits the ball. So how much courage and how much commitment is required, you can understand. Tucked under his chin and is a huge fan of the English Premier League, IPL, Indian Premier League. What is it? Yes, it is cricket. Now, English Premier League, it is football. And he is a great fan of it. Not only he plays football, he is a fan of it. His parents decided not to send him to a special school. A decision, he said, was very hard for him, but which may have been the best decision they could have made for him. Now you see, deaf, dumb and blind, these people do have a separate school because there the teaching is separate and the books are separate. For them, all the things are separate. So they have separate schools. He is not dumb. He is not deaf. He is not even what we call as blind. Then he doesn't have these limbs. Do they accept him as a special student? No. And then he has to be sent to a normal school. But Nick doesn't have this, he is only a torso. How much humiliation will he be facing if he goes to a normal school? Just imagine. He would definitely. But his parents have taken a decision that he should go to a normal school. He resisted in the beginning, but later he felt, yes, their decision is a very good decision, and so I could stand independently. Standing independently is one more thing that is which leads to great success. You should be independent. As long as you are dependent, you cannot be a great success. So, which may have been the best decision they could have made for him. That is what Nick realized later. When Nick was born, his father was so shocked that he fell and left the hospital room to vomit. When he heard and when he has seen the boy having born without hands and legs, he felt vomiting. He left the room to vomit. Now you can understand, a father, he gets a great amount of happiness if he hears that he is blessed with a son. And if he sees that his son is disabled, you can again imagine how a father would be feeling. Now, I don't think that the father, one who omitted, one who ran out the room to vomit, he must be feeling very proud of his son now. His distraught mother could not bring herself to hold him until he was 4 months old. Until he is 4 months old, he has not seen the warmth of his mother breast, he had not seen. You see how cursed he is, but he has scaled this great success. His disability came without any medical explanation. Doctors could not say, why this disability to this man, this boy? No, there is no answer at all. But only a slight, what we call as a slight lame excuse, we can say what it is, a rare occurrence called phocomelia. All the blame will be put on the God or on the other disability whatsoever. Here the small excuse is phocomelia, and so this boy has born like this. And Nick and his parents spent many years asking, why this cruel thing to me? Why this cruel thing to me? You see, when you are in a great distress, you will be asking yourself, why this to me? It is a very common thing. But if you have won a prize of 1 crore rupees, would you say, why this to me? No. Right? So the same way, the parents, they questioned themselves why this cruel trick would happen to them. My mother was a nurse and she did everything right during pregnancy, but she still blamed herself, he said. Mother was a nurse. Nurse means very much close to the medicinal practices and all. But she could not understand why my boy is born like this. She has no answer with her. And she has taken all the precautions during her pregnancy. When he was in her home, she took all the precautions, whatever is necessary for his healthy birth. It was so hard for them, but right from the start, they did their best to make me independent. You see, they knew it. We have a boy here who is not having legs and hands. But even then, they wanted that their son should stand independently. He should work for himself. Whatsoever it is, he should not depend on others. My dad put me in the water at 18 months and gave the courage to learn how to swim. Though knowing the truth that my boy doesn't have the hands and legs, the father puts him in water. You see, that is how to imbibe courage within oneself. And so I put the courage here. If you have courage, and that should be started from the very young age, 18 months. And so push him in the water. And the boy, of course, no doubt, he can float himself. He will come up. He won't try to go down. And that was the tendency of the father. He put him in water and introduced him for the first swimming at the age of 18 months. I also got really into football and skateboarding. I totally love the English Premier League. Earlier we have already talked about this. Nick's father was a computer programmer and accountant, and he taught his little son how to type with his toe at just 6 years old. When Nick was only 6 years old and this leg is there, he has already called it as chicken drumstick. With that, how to type, he had introduced him to the computers and typewriting. Because father himself was a computer literate and he was an accountant even. His mum invented a special plastic device that meant he could hold a pen or a pencil. You see, the necessity is the mother of invention. Now the boy needs something. He should hold the pen or pencil with his toe, and that too in a balancing manner. And so the mother invented some plastic device with which the boy can hold the pen or pencil. Right? And you see how the parents are thinking about the well-being of the kid. Despite the risk of being bullied, his parents insisted Nick on attending mainstream school. It was the best decision they could have made for me, adds Nick, who later achieved a degree in financial planning and real estate. It was very hard, but it gave me independence. Now you see, when he was admitted into a normal school, he was resisting. Why? The other students may bully him, make a mockery of him. Bully means to make a mockery. Vekirinchadam. He was knowing it. These people may do this thing to me. But his parents insisted, you have to go to the mainstream school alone, not to the people, not to the school meant for disabled persons. You have to go there. Why? The parents were thinking that their child should be an independent person. So that made him a degree holder in financial planning and real estate. Real estate, I need not have to tell you the meaning. Most of your fathers must be doing it, and you must be seeing either this uncle or that uncle in that field. That is real estate. Plots, flats, etc. Right? Now, financial planning also. He will not only plan, he will advise where to invest, how to invest, and why to invest, when to invest. All these things he will be talking about. That is called financial planning. Now, with this, he said he was given independence. Nick, who was teased and bullied, had an electric wheelchair for mobility and a team of carers to help him. I was deeply depressed when I was 8 years old, he said. I went to my mum crying and told her I wanted to kill myself. See, though we are normally born, we have hands, we have legs. 10 out of 10, if it is 9.8 out of 10, people are committing suicide. See the thing, see the fun. If it is only 9.8 out of 10, not 10 out of 10, you expected it, you struggled hard for it, but you did not get it. And so what you are doing, you are committing suicide. No. Why? Here, at the age of 8, when he was admitted to a normal school where the students started bullying him, making mockery, and when they were simply teasing him, then only he got discouraged, and he has gone to his mother and he said that he would be committing suicide. See, I felt cold and bitter. I hated God for doing this to me and was terrified of what would happen when my parents weren't there to look after me. Now, it is a question for you also. Even one night, single night, if they are not there, your mother and father, and you have to be there in your house, you have to manage the whole night by yourself, you will be speechless, right? That is called again what we call as you are losing yourself. No. Though he doesn't have hands and legs, he wanted to be independent, and he thinks always, if my mother and father is not there, what would happen to me? Then he got his own solutions. He doesn't sit just like that. He went on thinking about it, and he got the results, the answers. You see what he has done. I could brush my own teeth with a wall-mounted brush. If I don't have hands and legs, it is must. I should depend on my parents, either brothers or sister or my mother. They have to brush me, right? No, he has invented one more thing. He has mounted the brush on the wall, and he just adjusted himself there, and he started brushing his teeth. That is wall-mounted brush. Second, he has to shower himself. He has to shampoo himself. He has to put soap on himself. Doesn't have hands. Then he also has the answer for it. What did he do it for it? Wash my own hair with pump action soap. But there was so much that was impossible for me. In the bathroom, that is freshening yourself, he arranged himself. He can do everything independently. But there are many more things. Without a helping hand, he could not do. He understood it. At age 10, Nick tried to drown himself in the bath, but luckily the attempt was unsuccessful. I felt there was no purpose. When you lack purpose, the strength, it is hard to hold on, he said. But with the help of his religion, friends and family, Nick managed to pull through to become an international symbol of triumph over adversity. See here. He felt there was no purpose. At the age of 8, he tried to commit suicide. Why? Because he thought there is no purpose on my living. There should be a purpose for your living. Whatever you do, not only living. You are going to school, there is a purpose. You are coming back from the school, there is a purpose. Without a purpose, there is no action at all. Action and purpose, these two are going side by side. So what he said is, there is no purpose, no hands, no legs, how can I live? So let me commit a suicide. But at the age of 18 months, his father taught him how to float in the water, not how to drown in the water. So, luckily for him, he could not drown himself. He had floated on the water. And he felt there is no purpose, that is called lack of purpose. And lack of purpose, it will weaken you. If you have purpose, it strengthens you. It is hard to hold on, he said. But with the help of his religion, friends and family, Nick managed to pull through to become an international symbol of triumph over adversity. Triumph. What is this word triumph? T-R-I-U-M-P-H. Triumph. Happiness. Is it simply happiness? No. Your cricket team won the World Cup. Think the amount of happiness you are going to enjoy. Experience what it is. That is triumph. Means happiness comes out of the victory. So here he has adversity. Adversity means all minus points. No legs, no hands, nothing. But even then, he had achieved the heights. That is, to be able to stand independently. So now his life has become as an example for many more people who are to follow his example. What is that one? Many people, his friends, the religion, the family, everybody has helped him to pull him up. So he could able to have a triumph over adversity. When I was 13, I read a newspaper article about a disabled man who had managed to achieve great things and help others, said Nick. You see, such a kind of personality, having no legs, no hands, without inspiration, he would not be standing to these heights. The inspiration he got at the age of 13. What is that inspiration? A person of his kind, another person who is also equally disabled, he could able to show him how he could help others. So that is the great achievement he could able to get. I realized why God had made us like this. You see, if there is a life, if there is a birth, if there is a death, if there is something, there is the cause, there is the reason, that great personality over there, the God who directs you here. Right? There are many things, many events. You will be just wondering why this happened. You may not be finding reason for it, but there is always a reason why he made me a teacher also. There is a reason. It is not that without his will I have become a teacher. No. There is always. So, I realized why God had made us like this. To give hope to others. See, I don't have legs, I don't have hands, but I could do certain things. With this, people may be inspired, they may get hope, they may get many achievements. Seeing myself as the example over there, they may be inspired. It was so inspirational to me that I decided to use my life to encourage other people and give them the courage that the article had given me. Now I decided, after reading this article about this person, yes, my life should stand as an example for others. They may take inspiration from me and they should act, they should reach the great successes. And so I took it as a mantra and I started living for myself and for others as an example. I decided to be thankful for what I do have, not get angry about why I don't. You see, what that I don't have, can I get it back if I sit here and weep hours together? No. I don't have eyes. I will be weeping. Will I get a sanction of God? 2 eyes will be given. Can I open my eyes? No. Very simple. If I don't have this hand, I need not have to weep for this. Yeah, okay. If at all I am minding what I lost, I'll be simply sitting here and I will not be achieving any goals. But I should not. I should be thankful and I should not get angry whatever I lost for it. No. God, you know it. Why you made me a deaf man. You know it. Okay, it doesn't matter. Then you are a great person. You can do it better. I looked at myself in the mirror and said, you know what, the world is right that I have no arms or legs, but they will never take away the beauty of my eyes. I wanted to concentrate on something good and that I had. You see, whatever good I have, on that I'll have to concentrate. Not that whatever the world says, on that I should have to act. Blind people, do you know what are the blind people think about you? You are having eyes. You are not independent to make your day and night. But the blind people who are born blind, they are very independent. As and when they feel sleepy, they sleep and that is their night for them. But as and when you are sleepy, you cannot go to sleep. You are not independent there. The blind people are independent there. Have you understood? When you are losing something, you are becoming something over there that is independent. Now here, I wanted to concentrate on something good that I had. Whatever good I have, on that I'll have to concentrate. My thinking capacity, nobody can take it. My speaking capacity, nobody can take it. My kicking capacity with this so-called drum, chicken, drum, whatever we call, drumstick. With that, you cannot take away my capacity of kicking, right? Picking the pins. You cannot take away. That is my good part. That is how Nick Vujicic thinks about. The challenges in our lives are there to strengthen our convictions. Conviction again. Conviction. If I leave it here, convict, that is a person, one who has been penalized by court of law. But conviction, it is something which we should have. In Telugu, we call it as a pattudala. Means, again, we call it as a commitment plus consolidation, conviction. So that conviction one should have. The challenges in our lives are there to strengthen our convictions. They are not there to run us over. It is not a truck, it is not a bus, not a car to run over us, to make an accident, to kill us. No, they are not there to kill us. They are there to enhance our conviction, to strengthen our convictions. Said Nick. In 1990, you see, his achievements. In 1990, Nick won the Australian Young Citizen of the Year award for his bravery and perseverance. Perseverance means to be able to continue to live whatever the obstacle comes, whatever the disability may be. Means non-stop growth or non-stop what we call as a continuity. It is called perseverance. So, and once I was in a car and a girl at a traffic light, you see, once again he comes to a jocund mood. What is that one? And once I was in a car and a girl at traffic lights was giving me the eye. Giving me the eye means what? She was looking. Giving me the eye means somebody is removing the eye and giving. No. Giving me the eye means to look. That is the traffic signal you must be seeing many times. So you are on the two-wheeler and there will be some four-wheeler persons will be there. They will be looking at you. That is called to give an eye. A girl was giving an eye to him. He was in the car and that girl was in the two-wheeler. Now you see what happened over there. He was in a seat, right? And he did 360 degrees like this. 360 degrees because he doesn't have legs over there. In a seat, in a car seat, if I am sitting, my two legs will be making an obstacle. I cannot make 360. But he was there on the seat and the belt was binding him. And he made a 360 degrees there itself. So a person looking through the wind glass, what does he think or does she think about this person here? Making a 360 degree. Now you can understand. That is, she got scared to her nerve. She made a cry and went off from there. Right? So now, let me read for you. She could only see my head, so I decided to do a 360 in a car seat to freak her out. Freak her out means to cry and run away with fear. Is freak her out. Her face was like, ooh. What is going on? She sped off really quickly. Really and quickly. Real quick she sped off. Now, Nick began traveling the world and in 2008, he went to Hawaii and met surfing master Bethany Hamilton, who had her arm bitten off by a shark when she was 12. See, he was meeting the people who were equally disabled like him or maybe halfway disabled. Here, he learned this surfing through a woman, right? And she was not having one of her arm, complete arm. She was not having. Is it from the birth? No. She was enjoying this hand for quite some time, and there suddenly at the age of, I feel it is 12 years, she lost the hand. How? A shark has bitten her. Shark has bitten her and the arm has gone. She is left here. But she is the master in surfing. She taught this hero, Nick Vujicic, how to surf. Right? Now, she was amazing, said Nick. She taught me how to surf and I was terrified at first. But once I got up there, it felt absolutely fantastic and I caught some waves pretty well. Nick quickly learned how to do the 360-degree spins on his board. You see, the skating you must be knowing, you must have seen in your TV Discovery Channel and National, what is that one? So many educative channels are there. In that you must have seen the surfing, art of surfing. There will be a board, and in that one, the surfer will be going high to the tide. Along with the tide, he will be going high. And again, he will be going rough, again coming down. Right? And on the skateboard, the person, along with the skateboard, he will be making 360s. But this person, he doesn't have legs. So, on the skateboard itself, he was making 360 on the board. Now you can understand how skillful our Nick Vujicic has grown under her training. Within no time, what is the time we can see here also, that is degrees spins on his board, a feat that got him on the cover of Surfer magazine. Every sport, whether it is a game, cricket or running or cycling or boating or yachting, whatsoever, football even, they are having their own magazine, and that book will be completely dedicated to the sports, that event only. Here, that is a magazine which is a Surfer magazine, and within 48 hours from the time he really began to learn surfing, he got the cover page for himself because his photo has been printed on that. But it is not a matter of joke. That is, he made miracles over the skateboard within the 48 hours of his learning. No one has ever done that in the history of surfing, he said. Nobody else has done. You must have seen, he will be jumping and along with the board he must be making 360s. But without the board, that means the board is there fixed and he is making 360 over the board. Nobody has ever dreamt of doing this earlier. But I have very low center of gravity. Do you know where is your center of gravity? It is here. It is here. Belly button, we call it nabi. Nabi is your center of gravity because this weight and this weight equalizes here. But he doesn't have this. Means he has a very low gravity. That is, but I have a very low center of gravity, so I have got pretty good balance. So he got the balance by itself. He doesn't have legs, he doesn't have hands. So that helped him to maintain the balance. He has visited different countries all over the world. The football fan is now a motivational speaker and has traveled to over 24 countries, speaking to groups of up to 110,000 people. See, he doesn't have legs, he doesn't have hands. Once he tried to commit suicide, the very same person he has become a motivational speaker. What is called a motivational speaker? There are many countries where children were not getting emotional factor. What is emotional factor? You have your mother ready at your house. When you return back home, she will be questioning you, what did you learn today? There are many children who do not have this facility, I can say, or this boon, varam, this boon they do not have. Father, only on Sundays or only on holidays they must be seeing their father. Now you can imagine, they do not have the affection of the mother and the father, because both are working class people. They do not have, these children will be going by themselves to school, coming back, play, go to bed, eat themselves, or whatever is packed food is there, eat, go to bed. No emotion at all. That emotional part is absent, and ultimately they take up bad ways. Many things. You must have heard in your paper, if you remove it, some school children, they were taking the revolvers to school and they are firing at the other students. You must have come across this kind of incidents. You must have seen in your TV. Why this happens? Because they are people minus emotion. They do not have emotion. Simply, that's all. They know the use of this and they use it. They don't have emotion. And what is the remedy for that? We have to give a speech to them, to motivate them. That is called motivational speaker. And there are many others who are addicted to drugs to bring them back into the mainstream. This kind of motivational speech is required. Talk is required. They are to be assured that we are there. We look after you. You need not to bother. You are not alone. That kind of a speech is required for them. And all kinds of odds. There are odds with this boy. You can see Nick Wiz says he doesn't have these 2 hands, 2 legs. But against these odds also he had succeeded. That is what they have been shown. And now that speech is called as a motivational speech. He had become a motivational speaker and he spoke to many persons, a very good gathering, about 110,000 or many more. In a stadium, you can see there is a photograph here. He is just standing on a platform, and around him there is a what we call as many spectators are there in the stands, just like cricket viewers. He moved to Los Angeles 2 years ago and plans to continue to travel the world. This year, he will visit South America and the Middle East. When this article has been written, it is determined that he will be visiting South America and Middle East. Middle East is now China, Korea, and all these things is Middle East. If I fail, I try again and again and again. You see emphasis, again and again and again and again. The spider, it comes down, darts down, and again it goes up. It wants to build its web. It gets darted. Again it goes up. Means again how many times? Alexander has said that it tried for many times, but it did not dart down, it made its web there. That is success. You may be coming down, you may be failing, but trial should be there and again and again and again and again. Until you succeed, you have to try for it. If I fail, I try again and again and again. If you fail, are you going to try again? He questions you. Now, can you face this question? The human spirit can handle much worse than we realize. We do not know how much worse we can handle. Headache is there. Better let me skip the class. Headache is there, skip the class. We are thinking, stomachache is there. Let me not eat food. Skip the food, skip the lunch, right? But do you really know how much you can handle this kind of pains? Leg is paining, or hand is paining, stomachache is there, headache is there, and all these things. How much can you get at a time? You do not know. You don't have any idea. You can have as much pains the body can give you. It matters how you are going to finish. Are you going to finish strong? See, headache is there, but tomorrow is examination. Can I finish it now? That is the question you have to put. Not that headache is there, let me go to sleep. Means you have surrendered yourself for the headache. No, you have to realize, yes, I can have it. Let it go to a compartment in my head somewhere backside. Then you can go ahead. You can read. You can get ready for your examination tomorrow. Means you do not know how much you can have it. There is, you cannot imagine what is your strength. You are very strong enough. I tell people to keep on getting up when they fall and to always love themselves, he said. Falling is the first step for getting up. You are falling. Are you keeping yourself there only? Are you remaining at the same posture? No, you are getting up. And again, just you will be brushing yourself and you will be ready for a walk again. That should be the spirit. And suppose you are playing football or a cricket, and along with the ball, you will be running and you will be just go and you have to reach the wickets. You don't want to become a clean bowler, you don't want. And so you will be running. Run out. No, you won't accept it. You are running it. Why? Just because I have fallen, no, sorry sir, I have fallen sir, if not run out, I would not have been. You won't accept that. You will get up and you will run within no time. That should be the spirit here. If I can encourage just one person, then my job in this life is done. Nick Vujicic, he is not thinking that he is helping thousands or lakhs of people to get spirit and achieve his goal. No. He is just thinking, if I can do only a person to come in, to fall into my line and get success, it is enough for my life. That's the spirit you see. Not thousands, only one person. Right? That is called I can. The difference between I can and I can't. You see, I'm writing here. I can. Simply if I put a T here and an apostrophe, it becomes can't. I can't. Do you want to be with this? I can't. If you want to be with this, you can never do anything. But I want you people with this. I can. The present President of America, what did he do? He simply used this as a mantra. I can, I can, I can. That should be your mantra. I can. Then success is yours.